Minister, at the parliamentary committee today, the interim police chief in Ottawa said he did not, and the police service did not specifically ask for the Emergency Act to be invoked. So the RCMP commissioner, Brenda Lucki, said she did not ask. You said, I want to be clear here, in Parliament, you said that the federal government had been supporting police before the Emergencies Act, but you sort of had inferred that you had consulted with them. Did any police service, the RCMP, the OPP, or the Ottawa Police, ever say to any member of you or any member of the government, the existing laws are not good enough, we need more help legally?
We didn't sort of infer. We were very clear that we did consult law enforcement, and law enforcement, both the commissioner of the RCMP and interim Chief Bell and his predecessor, Chief Slowly, have said the same thing. There was a conversation. There was an exchange of ideas. The government sought the advice of law enforcement prior to invoking the Emergencies Act, with specific guidance sought on the kinds of measures that would help restore public safety. And Commissioner Lucki provided numerous examples of that in her testimony, including, for example, at Coots, where, as you know, Evan, there were a number of individuals who were charged with serious offenses involving guns and conspiracy to commit murder. They were challenged at the time because they could not get access to tow trucks. We addressed that in the Emergencies Act, and subsequent to that, I think law enforcement is clear that the Emergencies Act helped to restore public safety.
Okay, but I think this is important, though. I just want people to understand that. In Parliament, you had said, this is on the debate, you admitted that supporting police was happening before the Emergencies Act. On February 17th, you said, since day one, the federal government has done everything it could do to provide additional resources. The RCMP has sent 3 sets of reinforcements to the Ottawa Police. In other words, the government was already sending support before the Emergencies Act. Support was coming. The Emergencies Act is there because laws. So it's not about, do they have enough support? Can they get enough tow trucks? It's about, do they need new laws? Did the RCMP, the OPP, or the Ottawa Police ever say, it's not support we need new laws? Did anyone ever say that to you or any member of your government?
Evan, it's right there in the letter of the Canadian Association of the Chiefs of Police, who said that the invocation of the Emergencies Act addressed unintended legislative gaps. The words of professional, nonpartisan law enforcement, whose opinion we obviously place great stock in. Now, the decision to invoke the Emergencies Act was ultimately the government's. But the strong consensus that has emerged from law enforcement was that this was a tool that was used as a last resort to restore public safety in the face of again, I'm quoting from the letter from the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, was an unprecedented act of civil disobedience. By unprecedented, they mean never in the history of this country.
I know, but this is just important because the police say they never asked for the use. This is important because if they're not asking for the Emergencies Act, and on February 24th, you said we made the decision to end the use of the Emergencies Act in consultation with law, I understand that. You consulted, but did, again, any member of these police forces say we need the use of the Emergencies Act? If they don't ask for it, why should the federal government then invoke it? They're not asking for it. They've said they didn't ask for it. Why invoke it?
Well, the operative word in your question is consult. And as you've heard from the commissioner of the RCMP, the interim chief of police for the Ottawa Police Service, the government responsibly and proactively reached out to law enforcement to seek their advice prior to taking the unprecedented decision of invoking the Emergencies Act in the face of an unprecedented public order emergency. That's what matters to Canadians. Is we didn't take this decision in a vacuum. We didn't politicize this. We went to people, professionals who are nonpartisan, to seek their advice on how to restore public safety.
But they didn't. I understand it. But but if they normally the advice is say, hey, we're in a real jam, we need new laws, invoke the Emergencies Act. But they're saying they didn't ask for it. But just last thing, in order to clear up, this is really vital. Again, and I've asked you this before, in the investigation, will Justiceouleau have access to all the classified and cabinet documents so he or Canadians can see exactly what the police forces said to you and the cabinet?
Yeah, a couple things. First, and I'm sorry for interrupting earlier, but I want to make sure it's clear that the then Ottawa Police Chief Slowly had said at one point early in the blockades and occupation that he didn't think that there was even going to be a policing solution to this. So we were obviously very cognizant of that statement, along with the real-time facts that this was an unprecedented public order emergency. But to your latter point around Judge Rouleau, of course, an independent public inquiry gives him robust powers to get access to witness, to information, to documents. We contemplate some of that will be classified and sensitive information, and we'll cooperate with him to ensure transparency.
Okay. Again, people just want you to say, yes, he can have all the classified documents. All the classified documents, he can get them?
Usurp or preempt his process. It's an independent process, and we'll cooperate.
Right. Okay, I got to leave it there. Marco Mendicino, Minister of Public Safety, thank you again for coming on. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, Evan.